And we are back. With another episode of R&R. It's Jamerson Ballard. I'm the host. How y'all doing today, man? Um, I'm actually where I want to be as far as the time and on the day that I would like to do the show on. Congratulations to me. And thank you for showing up today. I appreciate your views. Shout out to the Rand Gang. Shout out to the Capital Letter Club. Um, it's a celebration, bro. We alive, man. So yeah, happy whatever day it is you get to see the show. Um, and like I said, man, it's Jamerson Ballard. I decided to name the show today The Hanta Cruise. That is the title of today's show because we've been seeing a lot of things go on as far as like this Hanta virus situation. I know you probably seen it. Some of y'all might be tired of seeing it. I'm not really happy with it. Um, I don't I don't want to give it too much, but I do want to kind of break down what's going on, what it is, how to prevent it from getting to you, and we'll talk about some other things along the way. Y'all come on for the ride. We got a full show for y'all today. I'm here at a time where if you're in traffic, riding around and getting it on the way home from work, we can do this thing together today. And that's the goal to get done what I'm doing fast enough where I can get here and be here for y'all. So y'all don't be bored while y'all going through traffic or whatever rigmarole you got to go through throughout the day. I'm here to get you through it with some information and some news that you can use and, a couple of laughs along the way. Um, Today's show is brought to you in part by Kicks, the luxury shoe brand brought to you by yours truly. I will most certainly leave a link in the description box so y'all can go check those out. Um, yeah, I haven't fell back on that. I need to come up with me like I don't know. Y'all leave some suggestions on what y'all think I should do. But I'm probably gonna end up doing something maybe with a Shopify store or something to that effect. Y'all can get these products and get things, you know, to you guys. I got sweaters, I got fragrances, I got shoes, I got all these different things. And I need a vehicle to get those things to y'all in a more efficient manner. But that's in days to come. Right now, we're going to talk about what the fuck is going on in a segment I like to call Is That Right? So, yeah. I like I said, there's been a lot of things developing. I've been super mm, I don't want to say distracted, but I on some things I might not be as far as in the loop as I want to be. But this thing kept coming across my timeline. I am going to talk about some other things. I think first before I get to that all the way, because there's some other things that happened that were surprisingly tragic that I almost didn't notice because I'm not a big news person. Okay, news flash. I don't even like the news. Right. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to center the show around things that you need in order to get you through to, on a smoother trajectory. But unfortunately, things like this hantavirus thing comes out, and we want to try to arm you with as much information as possible and still keep this shit entertaining. It's not going to be as easy to do that this episode, but we still gonna get it in. You know what I'm saying? Because it's necessary. Anyway, man. There was a couple of tragic things. I'll just deal with the one that is probably on everybody's radar. Was the accident that happened Frontier. There's a guy that hopped over the turnstile or whatever and went into the runway and got hit by a fucking airplane, bro. I mean, this is not one of those things where I'm trying to be funny. It's just RIP to that person. I don't know what the fuck they were going through. And I hope their family is okay. You know, let me just start out by saying that shit because I really don't intend to be offensive when I say some of these things. But I don't necessarily like to see that kind of shit going on when it's just a motherfucker maybe like walking along the freeway, let alone trying to walk across the freeway or across the fucking runway, man. The dude tried to, and I'm gonna show y'all what it looked like. And for those who have to see it's utterly ridiculous. Whatever you was trying to do. I mean, you should have been like, yeah, it's gonna take you 30 minutes to walk around into the place that you need to be in the way that you need. There ain't no shortcuts with that shit, bro. At this point now, you're like a fucking squirrel or something looking at the. I mean, you don't have no idea how fast these are. They're huge, and they have like engines sucking air in at a rate of speed that you're not gonna be able to run away from that shit, bro. If you got caught up in that shit, you know what I'm saying? It ain't even about getting ran over as much as you getting sucked in. This motherfucker got sucked in. I'm gonna play the video, man. I'm gonna play the video because it is utterly ridiculous. How much you had to be drunk. There's no way you thought that was a good idea. And he's by himself, so there was no one there to talk him out of it. Like, yeah, nah, bro, don't do that. That's stupid. Yo, common sense didn't kick in, bro. That no fucking sense. Let me share my screen. Mm-hmm.
Also today, a person hit and killed by a passenger jet during a takeoff. This is at a runway at Denver International Airport. We are just learning that person had jumped a perimeter fence just minutes earlier. CBS's Sarah Horvakovitz has now with the latest.
This video shows the moment the Frontier airliner hit a person on the runway. This audio of the pilots in the cockpit.
4345, we're stopping on the runway. We just hit somebody. We have an engine fire.
231 people were on board the Frontier Airbus, a 321, headed to Los Angeles Friday night.
Really going rapidly when all of a sudden there was a big jolt and a loud noise, and then boom, this huge orange fireball out the right side of the plane.
The person hit sucked into one of the engines.
We've got
sucked in to an engine. That is not the way nobody want to go, bro. Nobody.
in the aircraft. We're going to evacuate on the runway.
Passengers rushed to exits, evacuating the aircraft on emergency slides. They were bused to the terminal. 12 were hurt.
It's very clear that flight attendants represented all of aviation's first responders very well last night, and we're very proud of them.
Fire crews extinguished the flames. In a statement, Frontier said it's deeply saddened by the event and an investigation is underway. It's the latest aviation accident this week. In Orlando, a Delta worker was killed when a plane hit a boarding bridge.
Okay. So that wasn't even the last only dumbass thing that happened. And what the fuck kind of investigation do you need to do other than the fact that this motherfucker was in a place he was not supposed to be in at a time that he was not supposed to be there? I don't even know if they got anybody enough to even do a full autopsy. Anyway, so now one of some other dumbass shit that happened, and I think they're saying Philly.
Killed when a plane hit a boarding bridge. In Newark, New Jersey,
Wait, what? A boarding bridge? I don't even know what that is.
week. In Orlando, a Delta worker was killed when a plane hit a boarding bridge. In
A Delta worker was killed when a plane hit a boarding bridge. I don't even know what that means. It sounds
Newark,
like
New Jersey, a United Airlines jet clipped a light post and a delivery truck while landing last Sunday.
Wow. You clipped a landing post and a delivery truck.
Tonight, the airport here is operating normally. No word yet on the identity of the person hit, although they are not believed to be an airport employee. Reporting in Denver, Sarah Horbakowitz, CP.
Oh my God. The airport, it seemed like it's a dangerous ass place now. And I don't know, man. Like I took the train last time I did travel, bro. I can't even. That shit. Oh hell no, bro. Nah. I don't know. That's safer. I mean, I'm pretty sure it is a little safer. You know, they ain't around. It's still, but I can't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it'll take me a little bit longer to get there before I be just. It's just. I gotta get a flight for my people to get up to New York. Anyway, so be careful on the plane. Okay, be careful. I don't even know how careful you can be when you just a passenger. It's gonna be on the crew and a whole bunch of other people that have to be careful also, and apparently pedestrians, because these motherfuckers is walking out onto the damn runway. Like, anyway, another thing that's pretty messed up. Oh no, okay. So let's see the footage of the person when they was hit by the plane, and it's some of y'all that might want to see this, and I get it, but we finna see it because it's real. We R&R. This is what we do, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. It's a short clip, so y'all pay attention. It's gonna be kind of fast. A little blur right here. They're right here. It's black and white. Let's see.
A pedestrian as it was preparing to take off from Denver International Airport late Friday tonight. New surveillance video tonight of a Frontier Airlines plane hitting a pedestrian as it was preparing to take off from Denver International Airport late Friday night. That flight was en route to Los Angeles when it happened. Airport officials say the person had jumped the airport's perimeter fence and was struck minutes later while crossing the runway. That person was killed instantly. Everyone on board was evacuated using slides.
See how fast it happened, bro. He ain't even got a chance to change his mind. This dumb shit is just ridiculous. So don't do that shit. I don't give a fuck how much of a hurry you in. I don't know what other circumstance you could be going through for you to feel like I'm gonna just walk. How the fuck you get to the side that he wasn't supposed to be on trying to walk across the damn runway any motherfucking way. I don't get it. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. What kind of drugs were you on, sir? And one more thing, and then we'll get to the meat of the episode. There was I don't know how to set this up. Anyway, I mean, it's just, I I had a discussion with an individual who's been on the show a couple times before. His name is Anthony. Shout out to you, Ant. And he was just, a little bit upset. He seemed to be a really empathetic young man. And he was just like, yeah, did you know that? I don't know. It was a crazy ass number. It wasn't as crazy as I thought it could have been, though, for what he was talking about. But it was like, I think 150,000 people die, or something like that every day, or something like that. And it was like, really? Like, that's it? Like, I thought it was way more than that. It's a billion people. But a lot of these people are done if they're dying early. And I was just like, bro, a lot of that shit is natural selection now, I found. I mean, yeah, you have tragic death, and you have, the death that, wasn't supposed to happen, disasters and stuff, but death is going to happen. It's going to happen quite a bit because of the amount of people on the earth. But as long as there's more people being born than there is dying, we should be fine. At the same time, it's just like, he was just really kind of sad. But and then there's the motherfuckers that are murdering motherfuckers. Like, this, I don't even know. I can't even say. I'm gonna let you see it, and then I will talk about it more. But it's like, an old white man was killed on the platform or something like that, and it just sounds pretty fucking unnecessary. Yeah. Let's see what's going on here. Unnecessary deaths, because there's a certain amount of death that has to happen in order for us not to be overcrowded, which makes me probably sound pretty fucking, heartless. But I'm not. I'm just saying survival would dictate that in order for us to have an ideal circumstance on this planet, there are a certain amount of people that have to die. There are going to be people that are too old to be here. They've already aged out. The ones that hurt the most are the ones that was the babies and the kids and the tragics. But a lot of that shit is, like I said, it's some motherfuckers is dumb. And if you know them, you'd be surprised they made it as long as they have. But this shit is kind of sad. Let me see.
Morning, could a subway tragedy have been prevented? Mayor Mamdani once answers. He has ordered an investigation into a deadly subway attack that killed a 76-year-old man.
Hours before the attack, the suspect was released from something called a psychiatric hold at Bellevue Hospital. Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis live in Lower Manhattan outside of criminal court. Good morning, Marcus.
Good morning, Michelle and Perry. Released from that hold after just 1 hour at Bellevue Hospital. Ramel Burke will be arraigned, is scheduled to be arraigned later this morning. He will be back before a judge, but it is not the first time for him, and this time the charge far more serious. He is charged with killing a 76-year-old retired teacher. Ross Falzone died of a traumatic brain injury and fractured spine after Ramel Burke allegedly pushed him down the steps at the entrance of the 18th Street station in Chelsea Thursday afternoon. A random attack taking place just a few hours after Burke was released from Bellevue Hospital. He had been taken there by police because he had been observed by officers acting erratically, and somehow he was released from that psych hold just an hour later.
Oh, so this damn police. The dude was acting erratic, and they put him in a hold. at Bellevue Hospital so they could see if he's crazy. And they released him within an hour. So he's not crazy. That's what they say. And then he did and killed and pushed the man down the stairs and killed him. I hate to see it that he was a dude that, is the same ethnicity as I am. I don't know. I don't sound like something a black person would do though. He might be what Tariq would call a tether. This is not something we do like just randomly, normally, under normal circumstances.
In addition to that, the 32-year-old had been arrested 3 times in February, 4 times this year so far. Now, Eyewitness News spoke with the victim's
homeless
sister.
Find out your brother's minding his own business, 3 witnesses, and pushed down the steps and left for dead. There's not amount of anger that we can express. He wouldn't hurt anybody. He's a bag of bones. He's
Breast being 100 pounds. It sounds like to me, Brad, damn near homeless. So he ain't got nowhere to go, and he don't want to be homeless, but he need to go to jail. And they let him go. He probably should have played crazy better or something if he wanted to be locked. He didn't want to be locked up in the insane asylum though. He need to go to prison. If he on that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He killed the man, bro. But anyway, all right. So I don't like to talk about a lot of sad shit, and that's 2 things that was not very happy right back to back. But that's what's happening. And then they got. I've talked about this on the show before, but they're talking about the ticks. The ticks thing is ramping up, man. So if you don't want Lyme disease, it was a remedy that I had. I think it's on Instagram, but do what you can to keep yourself away from ticks. There's a dude. I mean, I think he was saying the ticks was in his house. If you get bit by a tick that has this, like a Lone Star tick, like you won't be able to eat beef no more. You'll be allergic to it, literally. It'll make you sick to eat it, and they're saying it's a bio weapon. It's been biologically engineered. It's been developed on some place out in North Carolina or some. And Bill Gates and them came up with this tick to make it to where people consume less beef, so they won't have to have as many cows, because they're blaming cows and the methane gas from cows' asses for fucking global warming, nigga. Are you fucking serious? We should consume less beef. The World Health Organization wants us to eat less beef. So they're trying to make it to where we are allergic to it now. And this is their plan. And that's the show's real essence right there. Is like, what in the fuck are y'all up to? And what can we do as a people to thwart their bullshit before it becomes too big of a fucking problem? But before we can eradicate a problem, we have to agree that there is a problem and figure out a way to do something about it. Okay? So now the thing that they're throwing at us is fucking hantavirus bullshit, which could be another way of them, like, I heard something about, there was like a guy from the future or some shit, or some Instagram guy that posted this, and it just said COVID 2023, Hanta 2026, hantavirus 2026, shit like that. And okay, so when we'll for shits and giggles, we'll go and see what the Simpsons have to say about this shit, because apparently whoever the writer of the Simpsons is, this motherfucker has, and I thought of something else that might be kind of interesting to hear. Like, are they? Let's listen to the video first. Let's listen to the fucking video first. What's up, man? What's up? Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen again. We're gonna see what the fuck the Simpsons have to say about this shit. I don't know if y'all want to know. I don't want to know. I'm curious. I'm always curious now. I think I can start going back to Sunday and watch it. But it's like it ain't gonna tell you what you want to know on that episode, probably. And it's like you just gotta keep watching it. This shit is like kind of old, but it went back. Somebody went back and seen it. Let me see.
I can't believe I just realized The Simpsons did it again. So we all know what's happening in the world right now, with everyone talking about hantavirus and even reports of the virus spreading on a cruise ship. But what if I told you this already happened in The Simpsons? In this 2012 episode, The Simpsons go on a cruise, but when it is about to end, they are forced to stay trapped at sea because of a deadly virus spreading.
All ships must remain at sea. Outbreak of the deadly Pandora virus is spreading rapidly.
And if that's not enough, in this 1999 episode, Krusty the Clown warns everyone that a virus is spreading, and listen to what he calls it.
But the Hanta virus, what up?
A mysterious virus, cruise ships isolated at sea. The Simpsons did it again.
I don't know, nigga. That might have been a little bit of a stretch. But I can't say that it is because it's like, what? How the fuck they even? I think it might show in the video that I got pulled up, like how they came up with the name for the hantavirus. But it's just like it's almost like either the Simpsons know something, or it's almost like something is watching the Simpsons and naming shit after shit. I mean, and that sounds like both of them sound pretty unlikely, if you ask me. You know, one of them was probably higher, more like, you know, way more unlikely than the other one. But which one do y'all think it is? Leave a comment because that will also help push the video out, right? Liking, which doesn't cost you anything. Sharing, which also doesn't cost anything. And commenting. I think there might be a little bit of a, for every time that happens, I might receive something. So if you're not going to, you know, bless me with a cash app, which I'm not asking for, if you have that, the cash app is down there, and we appreciate that. But if you don't have it to do that, if you could at least do that, that would be greatly appreciated. If you like the content you hear here and you want to get it out to see so other people can see the amazing things that we're doing here at R&R, that would be greatly appreciated. Now, back to the show. Anyways, nigga, I don't know if they copying off the motherfucking show or the show is copying off of, you know, I don't know. But we're going to break down what the hantavirus is, what the risks are, and what you can do to arm yourself against this new virus that they've conspired to use to get us get sick again. And it's like, it's probably going to get to a point to where the hospital right now is still like a safe place to get to. We made it to the hospital. It depends on the hospital and depends on who you are. And like I said, if you're Black, there's usually a hospital in your city that Black people do not go to because they've been like, it's been like, it looks like to us that they kill us when we get there. To me here, that, and I'm not trying to slander anyone, but I personally don't fuck with OU Medical if at all possible. Don't fucking take me to OU Medical, bro, because I do not. OU is a prominent school here in Oklahoma, and you know, blah blah blah, and there probably are some really good doctors there, but it sounds like to me these motherfuckers are practicing on us. They put it on the east side And I don't know of, the children's hospital, I think is pretty high, but everything else is like, fuck nah. Take me somewhere else. St. Anthony's or something. I don't know. Somewhere else. Integris, Mercy, somewhere else. Don't take me to fucking. Now, I think in Atlanta, the hospital is Grady. And that's right there in the hood too. It's like they're usually right there in the turf. What other place was like, say, Killer King? Like this, if you got a hospital that kills us, leave that in the comments so we know we're not the hospital not to go to if we in that city. Okay. But yeah, let's get into what some of the symptoms are and things like that, because it sounds like they're pretty vague. They don't have anything to prevent this from happening. It's another disease that has been. It's mainly an animal disease, and now it's a strain of it that can infect humans, and then that can be transmitted from human to human. Anyway, let's like I said, this one of them is harder to get than the other one, but let's let this British dude tell us what the fuck the Hanta virus really is, and then we'll figure out where these motherfuckers landed, and how easy or hard it is for them to give us shit that we don't want.
Passengers. So what do we know about this virus?
What?
Of Hanta virus on a cruise ship, and that's led to the death of some passengers. So what do we know about this virus?
What is hantavirus?
Well, hantavirus, it's named after a river in South Korea, and that word, hantavirus, really describes a sort of family of viruses. Around 20 viral species have been identified, according to the World Health Organization. It's not just one infection. It's really serious, but it's also relatively rare, and it's linked to exposure to rats and mice. The risk is typically highest when someone's doing something like, for example, cleaning out a building that's had a rodent infestation. So most of the human cases are reported in rural settings, such as forests, fields, or farms, where rodents are present, and that means the opportunities for exposure are greatest.
Where could this outbreak have come from?
That's a really, really important question, and the answer is we don't yet know. All the cases are linked to this cruise ship, the MV Hondias, which set sail from the very southern tip of Argentina at the very beginning of April. But the first two fatalities, who were a Dutch couple, they're reported to have travelled through South America before boarding the ship. Now, that's really important because it's possible that one or both of them came into contact with the virus during their travels. And one version of the virus, known as Andes virus, that's been identified as causing infection in humans in both Argentina and in Chile. So, for example, in late 2018, there was an Argentinian outbreak that was traced back to people who'd all gone to the same party. A single person with the virus led to 34 confirmed cases and 11 deaths.
What the fuck? Because one person at the party got 34 motherfuckers and 11 of them people died. Because the virus is cold. It's like a 38% fatality rate for one type, and then 50% for another one. So that's why we talking about this like this, because this is a cold ass virus, and it sounds like the human to human version is harder to get, but unless you really close up on a motherfucker, you kissing them some shit, and these motherfuckers, he must have not known that he had this shit because he had to been doing beer pong or like fucking like I don't know, drinking at the motherfuckers and shit, like just kissing motherfuckers a hell of shit, bro. And 34 people left out of there with that shit, and then 11 of them people died, and those numbers are real.
How does it spread? Is it airborne?
Yeah, it is slightly airborne. So it's transmitted actually by rodents, typically rats and mice, through their dried urine and the droppings, which are then blown into the air and inhaled. That's where it is slightly airborne. So mostly, yes.
So the shit don't just die when a motherfucking wet surface with rodent piss. Most diseases and shit like that, it's the potency of it, or the being able to spread it, the spreadability of it. I just made a word. I'm pretty sure that is a word, but I don't know if that's the word we use for that. And anyway, the spreadability of the virus is definitely dead once the liquid dries up or some shit like that, right? And it's not touched physically. This shit, a motherfucker could be dried up for however long. They sweep the dust has in the air, and that could get you fucked up. So that's one version of it.
It is spread from rodents, but there have been these relatively rare cases of human-to-human transmission of this virus known as the Andes virus.
What are the symptoms?
Well, the virus can cause two really severe illnesses. The first is called hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, and it often starts with sort of flu-like symptoms, really. You can get fatigue, fever, muscle aches, then followed by headaches, dizziness, chills, upset stomachs. But then, this is where it starts to get very serious. You get respiratory symptoms develop. So, for example, breathlessness. And the mortality rate associated with
respiratory business. It's actually kind of funky, but respiratory. I don't know. Anyway, the respiratory shit.
with this type of illness is around 38%. So more than a third of the people, according to the Center for Disease Control of the United States, will die if they get that type of the virus. The second illness is called hemorrhagic fever with renal syndrome. And this is even more severe and primarily affects the kidneys. So later symptoms can include low blood pressure, internal bleeding, and also acute kidney failure. The mortality rate for this version is 50%. So half the people who get it are likely to die.
Who should be more worried? Is it
Attacks your lungs and shit, which made me think about when COVID was out and they was giving out motherfucking ventilators and shit. The shit does not help. It's probably gonna make it worse. They're not trying to heal people. And then the other one affects your kidneys, which is like, ay. And that one is even more deadly. Now she's about to go into who should be worried, because we got children out here, and young adults, and then you got regular adults, and then you got fucking the elderly.
more dangerous if an old person catches it?
Well, obviously, if you're older or frail, or even if you have underlying health conditions, any sort of serious infection like this could have devastating consequences. So it's pretty serious, however old or young you are.
How do you test for it?
So there are currently some cases that have been confirmed and some that are still suspected. But the way you test for it is what's called a PCR test. Now, people may remember these from the COVID pandemic, when you might have a swab inside your cheek or up your nose. What it is a molecular biology technique that can quickly amplify or copy specific DNA segments, and that can create millions or even billions of copies from a very, very minute sample. And that allows, in other words, genetic testing.
What's the treatment if you do have it?
So there is no specific treatment or indeed vaccinations for hantavirus infections. Instead, medical teams will be supporting and treating the symptoms of the infection, things like breathlessness, for example, and that's called supportive care. So that might include everything from oxygen therapy, mechanical ventilation, antiviral treatments, even dialysis if you have the most serious version of the illness, which can affect your kidneys.
So will we have another lockdown? Is this like coronavirus 2.0?
It's obviously still a really serious situation for those who remain on board the cruise ship. There must be a lot of worry about more cases emerging among the remaining passengers and the crew on board. But the World Health Organization says that currently the risk to the global population is low.
And we know that they don't really give a fuck about us altogether. So y'all want to see the rest of that, feel free to go on YouTube, check that out. But there's one more video I want to watch that has the amount of individuals that's coming off this cruise ship, where they going, and what their plan is for quarantining these motherfuckers. So y'all hang on, bro, because I know some of y'all live in these states, and this might be more important to y'all than it is to me right now, but I'm gonna go through it with y'all. All right. I'm gonna go with you, man. I know it's like, man, why is this shot so serious, Jamerson? This is some serious shit. Now, I got a kid and I got a teenager. And so, you know, I have a family. And so some of you have families and you have elderly individuals that, you know, you want to, you know, make sure you keep in pocket. So, like I said, it's not just about me and what I want, but yeah, we got to keep up with what's going on around here. That COVID shit caught me off guard, and I ain't gonna lie, bro. This is the money. That's one of the things I think about when right. It's like, okay, how can I benefit from this? And I know that sounds fucked up, but I don't give a fuck. I don't even give a fuck if you understand it. I know some of y'all like, that's crazy. Like, yeah, listen. It's money made when it's blood in the street, bro. It's a lot of millionaires made off COVID too. And so if that's what's gonna get you to not watch the show no more because you don't like the fact that I said that, get the fuck on. Because that's the difference between the motherfucker that's gonna for sure win and the motherfucker that's gonna for sure lose. I have a lot of things that I will not do. I have a lot of rules. I have a lot of things that I don't, you know, partake in. But if what I'm trying to do isn't harming anyone, I mean, I definitely don't like when things go bad or want things to go bad. But I have learned how to develop, you know, ways to benefit from tragedy. And I advise anyone to do the same thing, especially when it's commonplace. You know, it's like we live in Oklahoma. It's every year is going to be a fucking tornado somewhere. Like, I'm going to find a way to organize a cleanup so I can get some money out of that. I don't want to, you know, it's not cool that people going through this shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's part of life. You know, what do you want me to say?
Hantavirus is here in the U.S. Here's what we know so far. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services says the risk to the general public at this point is very, very low. The Andes variant of hantavirus, which spreads from person to person, it only does so if you are in close contact with a person who has symptoms. So eating from the same silverware, kissing, being very, very close. 17 Americans in all landed in Nebraska early on Monday morning, and most of them were taken to the National Quarantine Unit at the University of Nebraska Medical Center. 2 of the passengers, a couple, we're told, were sent to Emory University Hospital in Atlanta. Officials say both of them have symptoms and they are being closely monitored. For the others in quarantine in Nebraska,
To a college in Nebraska, that sounds like some bullshit. But
most of them are in rooms that are similar to hotel rooms. They have Wi-Fi, meal deliveries, exercise equipment. There is, however, one other passenger who is in what they call a biomedical unit. which is more like a hospital room. But at this point, they are not showing any symptoms. Doctors spoke about the concerns that whether or not this could spread to the general public.
The risk of hantavirus to the general public remains very, very low.
Okay, so officials would not say how long these people are going to be quarantined or would be asked to do so. But health officials say the time between infection and when a person actually shows symptoms is believed to be as long as 42 days. And here's the
incubation period of this particular virus from inception to symptom is possibly as long as 42 fucking days. That is a month and a half. That motherfucker could have this shit walking around not knowing they have the shit and giving it to other motherfuckers. And then they find out that they sick 2 weeks after they done walked around everybody in the office house, you know, partying and shit. And now they done gave, you know, 500 other motherfuckers this shit. And they don't know for a month and a half that they got something is wrong. They start feeling sick 42 days. You know, that sounds dangerous as fuck. But I do not want to fearmonger. I'm just telling you, that is the reason why I'm covering it, because as much as they want to make it sound like it ain't shit, if this becomes something, it is going to be so fucking difficult to figure out when and where motherfuckers got this shit. It sounds like a huge fucking, because I mean, we got a lot of shit that we're battling right now. Motherfuckers are going to the gym and getting herpes. Because motherfuckers going to sit on equipment with an outbreak and ain't got on no drawers underneath that motherfucking Lululemon shit you got on, bitch. Or nigga. But, bitch. Because vaginal secretions and shit, I mean, sweat and shit too, you know, but so you definitely got to wipe off the equipment. And they got this new herpes that's like, and I've been trying to find pictures of that shit. It looked like a fucking wingworm, and you can pass it on by touching the motherfucking skin. Nigga, don't bump into me. I don't even want to be in public with you niggas sometimes because of shit like that, bro. I'm just like, what the fuck? So it's enough shit already out there, and then this shit. Arm yourselves. Right? You got ticks coming up your legs and shit, Lord forbid. You got this shit coming from, you know what I'm saying? Boy, it's a jungle out here.
After several days of evaluation, the director of the National Institutes of Health said the passengers will be checked for symptoms and given the option to quarantine at home with support and monitoring from local health officials. But that's where there is this concern, because the question is, will people stick to that quarantine?
Fuck no. And that shit is not for a week and a half like it was with COVID. Like I said, that shit is like 6 weeks. Are you gonna stay at home for 6 weeks with your? A lot of you niggas hate being at home with your significant, bro. And it's like by choice. Let alone if it was by before you had to. I could just it's gonna be a lot of divorces and shit. Anyway, I don't know if we can stand another quarantine, you know, as a country. and it still looks the same. Woo, shit. Anyway, that's it for it. Is that right? Next up, the next order of business is Celebrity Spotlight. Celebrity Spotlight is brought to you by Debauchery. A man's fragrance brought to you by yours truly. I don't know how I'm gonna get it to you, but if you decide that you want a bottle, let me know. And like I said, I'm gonna have to get my Shopify together, but it's the newest installment. I actually just developed another one, which will be out, soon. I'm calling it Manimal. What you think of the name? Be nice though. But yeah, it's called Manimal. That's the newest installment. But what I'm promoting now is Debauchery for men. Get you some. I'm still working on the slogan for it. But anyway. Oh. Make a let's let's make some bad decisions or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so there are some things that happen that because it's not a lot of things that happen that move the needle. But one thing that I seen was the thing with Ari Spears, and I don't even like saying the nigga name, but he came out of his head and said that people in Mississippi are they're uneducated, their country, and I'm not gonna lie and say that he's not. The way they sound can be different. Every region has their way of saying and doing things. Because I tripped out when I heard a motherfucker tell me to come see, and that's something you'll hear in the South too. Instead of them saying "come here," like "come here," and when you come to a person, it's not too often that you don't come to see what it is they're talking about. So the phrasing is valid. It's just different. I think he said they said, I can't remember what he said they said. It sounded country as hell. But that don't mean that people aren't intelligent. You know what I'm saying? And I guess Mike Epps, his slow ass, had to come to the rescue of any human being that is from the South. And I'm just like, Ari, shut the fuck up, bro. I think he was on what show he was on? I think he was on the new show with Deion Cole is doing interviews. Funny to know you, funny knowing you. I think the name of the show. Shout out to Deion. Deion is a legend of the game. Aries is still pretty funny. I wouldn't pay to go see him, but I fuck with Corey Holcomb, and so that the whole incident that I just lost so much respect for that man during that incident. It's not even funny. Like whatever funny he has, he can keep it. I don't even care about it. It's just a horrible human being, and he's goofy. But anyway, that happened. The thing with I keep going back to that because I don't even know who David is, but David, there's the amount of evidence that David, the singer, the black dude that had a underage girlfriend named Celeste, a couple of girlfriends, one of them was underage, the other one I don't know. The evidence is insurmountable, and I don't think that he's going to come out of this. It's pretty. It's pretty quick that he, just don't seem like he's gonna get out of this one, not at all. And I'm not, it's just some things or some cases are easier to solve than other ones. Is what it is. But that's happening. The roast of Kevin Hart happened. I didn't see the roast. I wish I would have known it was happening. I'll probably go and watch it after the show just to kind of see what happened. Because I'm pretty sure it's funny shit. But they invited Cat Williams to Kevin Kevin Hart's birthday roast or whatever. I think it was his birthday. It's usually when people get roasted. And he like showed up. Cat showed up. You know, they've been having beef with each other for like a decade or the better part of a decade. And he roasted Kevin. He didn't go in as hard as maybe he could have. And at the end of all that, Kevin came to make an announcement, and I think he announced that him and Cat need to squash their differences, and they became friends. He says Cat was kind of like, I don't got footage of what it looked like. Cat made it like, you know, he was hesitant to shake the man's hand and shit. I don't think he knew it was gonna happen, which was kind of a genuine response. If he wasn't sure it was gonna happen, I didn't know it was gonna happen. But they I thought that was big. I thought that was humongous. That I don't know what Kevin's motive was, but I'm sure it don't even matter. That shit needs to happen way more. It just needs to happen way more. A lot of you dudes are on the opposite sides of certain spectrum for whatever reason, but it does not have to be like a mortal war between two sides because of whatever it is, sexual orientation. You know, I can understand if a motherfucker steal jokes, you don't want to associate with that person. I get that. And we don't have to be enemies because of it. It's just, I know you steal jokes, and I don't fuck with you like that. No, you can't come to my shows for free. No, you know what I'm saying? No, we not cool like that. But I don't hate you. I'm not going to smear you in public. But me and the ones that are close to me and that know me and I know them, if I know that they are in close proximity to you, I'm going to let them know that you steal jokes. So don't take none of your new material around this motherfucker. But I'm not gonna actively hate a person for years on end. It's ridiculous. And so, there was some jokes thrown out. I think that Kevin was like, Kevin talking about how many books a year he reads, like 1,000 books a year or 3,000 books a year. He said, but this motherfucker didn't read The Room when he got beat up by that kid. Like, ooh, shit. Boy, that one stung. But, like I said, at the end of the day, they put their differences aside, and I thought that was like chef's kiss. You know what I'm saying? Instead of seeing motherfuckers slapping each other and shit. So that was interesting change of pace, and that's pretty much all I got for Celebrity Spotlight. Worldview. Okay, where do I start? Now, I don't have a lot, but we know about the Strait of Hormuz. But what I'm going to say about the Strait of Hormuz is going to, I don't know. I could have made a whole episode about this one thing, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell you right now that I don't know if it's our government or the world at large, they're planning on starting like a national energy crisis. And that's what apparently somebody's like jailbroken AI has told them that the real plan is to create a fake energy crisis, which would take hold about end of May, mid-June. Was going to be too much to handle, and they're going to start rationing out energy and making it to where we're going to put on travel limits. And it's like the whole point is to get Americans used to asking for permission to make moves. Others are saying that, with the help of, the new kill switches installed in these new vehicles, that they're going to, use that to keep people from moving certain distances, controlling what areas they go into or where they can't go. And it was a lady that was saying that, they're trying to trap us in America. make it impossible to leave, and that Spirit Airline was our cheapest mode of travel outside of America, and we need to escape it before it becomes too late. I don't know. Also, there's this conspiracy to get rid of all reliable vehicles, which is what Cash for Cars was. And I've seen something that said that, like, I don't know if y'all have ever seen the movie Roger Rabbit, but Roger Rabbit was basically about a lot of these car companies buying up, which is a real thing. This actually happened. They're buying up, or they bought up all the rail systems in the cities, like for public transportation, and made them shitty on purpose. So everybody would buy a car. And now they're doing the same thing to make it to where everybody would have to buy kill switch cars so that they can control their movement. And it's people that tell you that the doctors were in these certain type of cars that if they wanted to get rid of you, if you're somebody of influence or something, they could just make it to where it won't stop remotely. And that scared the shit out of me, especially after I just said all this great shit about Teslas now. And I'm like, oh, Tesla. Like, now I have to rethink my whole thing. And it's like, do I need to go get an older car and just repair them? If they fucking got rid of, what is the auto parts store they got rid of? Not AutoZone. I don't know if it's Advanced. Anyway, they got rid of certain parts. I mean, they're just making it impossible for you to get parts to repair your car if it is older. Ethanol gas tears up your gas line, the fuel lines in these older, and they made ethanol 10, ethanol 15, so they can further fuck up your small engine or other cars that are like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, bruh, I know this didn't necessarily pertain to just worldview, but that's kind of where it's at. Like, it's, you know, I don't know. It seems like Trump is trying to get out of this war and he's trying to control the Strait of Hormuz, but I don't know. I don't know what the play is, man. But it's almost like it's designed to look like it's not a play. So, or it is going to be designed to look like it's not a play when it is one. And we just got to watch for the hook, man. But that's all I got for worldview. Okay, so and then the thing I like to call, don't be a weirdo. Okay. Don't be a weirdo doesn't have a sponsor yet, but we're working on that. So if you want to sponsor a segment like Don't Be a Weirdo, or send me a DM, Instagram. It's Jamerson Ballard on all platforms. And we'll get you together. But so I had another weirdo of the week lined up, but then I seen this other one and I felt like that would probably be more along the line of a real weirdo of the week. But just so y'all know, it's a lady. I forget what state it was in now, but she was basically driving through like sidewalk and trying to run over a kid on a fucking dirt bike. I don't know if the kid flipped her off, but it does not matter. She charged at them in her car, drunk. And that was a runner-up for Weirdo of the Week. And the one that I landed on was this guy here. And he is a Secret Service member, but he's very freaky, apparently. And it's the government job title that makes this more, it weighs more to me, right? It's because he can use his position of power and influence to get into places and be around and then do shit that normal civilian people can't do or get away with, right? So that's why, by and large, I chose him as the winner of, and like it's a real contest altogether. But yeah, that he would have won on the strength that he is a government. And he's free free is
Any comments about the accusations?
An officer.
This fucking bloodshot picture, bro. Thing, bro, on Lord tab something.
With the U.S. Secret Service, police facing charges after detectives describe as a disturbing incident that went down inside a Miami hotel.
Authorities say that the off-duty officer was found naked in a hallway, alarming guests. NBC 6's Lena Salzbank has more on the suspect who walked out of jail tonight.
We tried to ask him what he was doing and what his intentions were inside that.
Why the fuck you comb your hair better than this? Like, I know that you white, you don't really have to comb your hair, but this shit look stringy and out of place. Like, you're very slim, and I don't think you're cute enough to get away with bedhead on national television, sweetheart. Let's do something about that. It just makes sense. What city is she in? It's ridiculous.
That hotel, but he didn't have
Miami too? Nah.
Any comments for us as he bonded out of jail. 33-year-old John Andrew Spillman walked out of jail Tuesday night saying very little.
John, any comment about the accusations?
According to the arrest report, Spillman was arrested after detectives found him naked in a 6th-floor hallway at the DoubleTree Hotel off Northwest 72nd Avenue in Miami. According to the report, hotel security caught Spillman in the hallway with his pants down, allegedly touching himself near a guest. A woman told detectives she rushed into a room to get away.
It's something that you don't expect when you are at a hotel, and you're just maybe getting into your room or whatever, and you see someone following you. It's like kind of a scary.
Business owners nearby say that this
and his tidy whities rubbing on his little boner off of beer and some powder.
situation is deeply concerning, even more so after learning the suspect was an off-duty officer with the Secret Service police.
They should be example for the society, and that's something really, really bad.
The report says the victim had been in the lobby before Spillman followed her upstairs. She quickly went inside her room while he stayed outside her door, continuing to touch himself. Officials say Spillman was based out of Washington, D.C. and was in South Florida for an assignment that ended just one day before his arrest. Spillman now faces charges of indecent exposure. In a statement, the chief of police with the U.S. Secret Service says that this incident is unacceptable, adding it stands in stark contrast to the professionalism and integrity expected of its personnel. Officials say Spillman has been placed on administrative leave. For now, reporting at TGK, Lena Salzbank.
And I mean, it's probably people doing worse shit than that deserve a bit. But yeah, come on, bro. You're supposed to be our best and brightest, bro. What is you doing? I know y'all be having issues and shit, but you can't be out here freaky as hell on the motherfucking hotel, like lobby, like not lobby, but like in the hallway and shit. Keep your freak in the room, in the sheets, okay? So nobody can see it. And then you do your thing, watch your video, bust a nut, and go to bed, and then go fight crime the next day. Stop. Anyway, that's that. The one thing and now this is my favorite segment of the show, okay? And it is Who Got Active. Who Got Active also can use the sponsor, so let me know. But today, I don't know if y'all have heard about Chet the bodybuilder. I've heard about this guy over the last week, and I just it irritates me to a very high degree to see somebody like this out here walking around trolling black people, specifically talking about he's chimping out, and he's got this fucking weird ass Doc Holiday fucking mustache on. He's walking around with a pistol and he's just going to areas where black people are and he's trolling us. He's like a white Charleston white but he's like, out here on some just in public talking about like he's on some free speech shit. Well, there is someone from his past that has arrived, and I've got so much joy out of this lady's rant that I made her our active individual of the week, because it has been revealed that this motherfucker likes to get pegged by the bitch. And she told us everything we need to know now. So I'm going to show the video. And I don't know what the fuck it is about motherfuckers getting pegged, bro, with Boston Richie now, this motherfucker. But we're going to let her tell us her story of how she knows this motherfucker before he decided he wanted to start acting like he's tough in the streets. Okay? And again, I mean, look, I'm happy. I'm happy that this came out. And it really makes sense when you think about it. It really does. Let me see. Some motherfuckers be so desperate to overcompensate for some shit that it doesn't make sense. It does.
I'm only bringing this up because Chud the Builder's camera. Lily Venus here, pretty bitch with a big dick. It's literally in my bio. I'm only bringing this up because Chud the Builder's cameraman put our conversation on Broadway on YouTube. Now millions of people know what I look like fresh off work. Fucking great.
Y'all seen this dude right? And this is also that in a fucking fairy outfit. This is the lady that knew him before he started doing all this shit. And she like ran into his cameraman or some shit or something like that, and he posted something about her. So, she didn't like the thumbnail they used because it said something about she, used to fuck Chud raw and smoke regular weed.
Fucking great.
Anyway.
But in the caption it said that black woman who used to smoke mid and get raw dogged by Chud the Builder. Well, he's not lying. I already told y'all we used to smoke. He used to sell me weed. And we did raw dog. A lot. Me, him, and my ex-wife. I am a professional pegger. It is no secret that
She is a professional pegger. Okay? This is going faster. So you have to listen pretty fast.
Perform prostate massages, if you will, for men. I've been doing it for a very long time now. Most of my clientele is.
She said she performed prostate massages for men on the side.
White men. We sign NDA agreements. I talk about me pegging all the time, but I never tell you names because discretion is key. Confidentiality is why my client list is so long. But Chud mentioned it first. I think that he said it the way he said it because the white supremacists were probably like, ew, you used to hang out with a black girl. Shame on you. So you had to make it sound good. But see, here's the thing. I'm an egregore too. Lily Venus, hi. Hail the great mother. So I am all about enlightenment, controversy, occultism, witchcraft, and of course, love. So me talking about this is what my brand is about. Let's expose it, bro. So yes, pretty bitch with a big dick. I have not fucked Dalton since like 2015. He was a little
Nigga named Dalton.
Chubbier then. His cheeks.
She said he was chubby when she fucked him.
She used to clap in such like the cutest way. Now Chud, he doesn't even have a little chubby butt no more, so I probably wouldn't fuck him again. But I'm wondering, did you bring that up because you want to spin the block? Now, when I first fucked him, he was a virgin, and I'm having a hunch that he probably hasn't been fucked since me and my ex-wife.
Wow, she said when she first fucked him, he was a virgin, and she has a hunch that he hasn't been fucked since then. Because he's too uptight, she says, I guess.
We can start small, buddy. I got you. But you don't have to fucking cap. Like, if you're going to say that we fucked, say the whole truth, okay? Now, with that being said, why do I peg? Because it's a hustle and it helps me get through college. I'm still in college. But now I don't have a choice. I will forever be a top because I had a surgery 3 years ago. The doctor fucked up and chopped my coochie off. You don't believe?
All of this shit is TMI. But we're going to let her rock because I appreciate her contribution to our culture right now.
Give me the link is in the fucking bio. I have been this way my whole life. My ex-girlfriends can vouch for me. I am a top. I fuck men and I fuck women with my dick. My dick is bisexual. The pussy is gay. And that's just that on that. I don't know what else y'all want me to say. So I'm not going to give this any more attention. Today is Sunday. Happy Mother's Day. I'm not bringing this into next week. Stop fucking asking me where can you find Chud. He's on Broadway. The same way I found him, you can go find him too. Bye.
He's on the blade. No, I don't know. But yeah, man, that was that. Hey, thank you, ma'am. I don't know what her name is, but thank you to her. She is our activated individual of the week, and that has been our show. My name is Jamerson Ballard, and I will see y'all next time. But that's R&R for today. I'm signing off. Y'all have a wonderful week, and I will see y'all next time.